Aaron Whitlow from the Markout Movie Podcast with
Brandon Spivey. He shakes his head. I don't know why.
I wonder. And we are the Markout Movie Podcasters.
Oh, come on, Aaron. We got to do it better than that. Come on. Let's show some enthusiasm in here. Come on, Aaron. We are the
Markout Movie Podcasters.
Markout Movie Podcasters.
Brandon's at like 20 right now, and I'm at a defeated 1. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about a little 1976 film by John Carpenter by the name of Assault on Precinct 13. Not 12th or not 15th or 14th, but 13th. And we're going to be talking about it. 13. But before we get to that, boys and girls, ladies and gents, we have a little bit of what, Brandon?
Movie news. All right, start with the first one. Hellraiser reboot officially moving forward with David Goer's team. Your thoughts on that, Aaron?
Who's David Goers?
Did I pronounce his last name wrong? I know him. Didn't he do Suicide Squad?
I don't know. I don't know who did Suicide Squad. It's terrible.
Okay, let me find him real quick. David Goer, whatever his name is.
Maybe don't switch off of your laptop because you might lose video. I don't know.
Can you see me?
I can still see you.
All right, yeah. He did Dark City. He wrote that.
Okay. My thoughts on that.
Batman Begins. He wrote that. Dark Knight, Batman vs Superman. Yeah.
And this is Hellraiser, right?
Yeah, he's doing Hellraiser.
I'm all about Hellraiser being brought to a newer, modern time. Maybe it would be I don't know, because I like the first Hellraiser, but I really enjoyed the second one, and I hadn't really seen any of them after that. Just maybe I've seen bits and pieces of them, but I'm not. I know I'm a horror guy, but come a little closer. Come a little closer, Brandon. Come a little closer. I don't really like Hellraiser.
Oh, I see. Well, he directed Blade Trinity as well, the third Blade film, which a lot of people do not like, I'm aware of.
Nobody likes it. Actually, when I first seen that movie, I didn't hate it.
It's not as good as 2. I didn't care much for the first one. I have a hard time with the first one. I don't know. Maybe it's Stephen Dorff. Even though I like him, I don't like him in the role.
I don't think you like Stephen Dorff. It doesn't sound
I
like
do. Judgment Night. He was in Judgment Night. I go back to Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez and
you always go back to Judgment.
And Dennis Leary, man. I go back because I love that movie.
I think I placed Wesley Snipes in that movie for some reason, but he's not.
In Judgment Night?
Yeah, he's not.
No, he's not
there. He's not there.
It's Cuba.
I know it's Cuba.
It ain't Wesley.
I know it ain't Wesley.
Actually, I have to say this. Thank God it's not Wesley.
You don't think it would have worked? You don't think it would have worked with Wesley?
He's not as good of an actor as Cuba, even back then.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right.
Plus, he would have never been second fiddle to Emilio Estevez. He wouldn't have had that. Come on.
You think Cuba now would be second fiddle to Emilio?
Cuba now is,
second fiddle to everyone?
Kinda.
He's peaked. He peaked around radio, maybe?
Yeah, I think that was the last time he did quality work until he did the OJ show.
Yeah, that's true. Which I got to say, he didn't. In my opinion, he wasn't a good OJ. But okay, I don't want to. But hey, David Schwimmer was perfect as the Kardashian guy.
I love that show. That show is amazing. I think everyone is good in that show. I can't just pinpoint one person that's like. But I liked him as OJ. He didn't look nothing like OJ.
No, it's not about the look, but he just didn't have the cadence of OJ. He didn't sound like an OJ. He didn't sound like OJ. I'm used to hearing OJ play in Norberg. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to OJ, and so he didn't sound like him. But this is me digressing. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Well, Hellraiser. I mean, I've only seen the first film. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. It has great special effects with the gore and stuff when the guy's melting and everything. That is awesome to watch, but at the same time, I didn't. Pinhead, is that his name, right? I don't want to get it wrong. He did nothing for me in the movie. He just walks around and talks, pretty much, and lets his minions do the work. I don't know. It's just, for a horror icon, he literally does nothing. At least in that original movie. I can only talk about the original because it's the only one I've seen.
I hope Doug Bradley isn't watching the podcast. Well, I hope Doug Bradley is watching the podcast. But
well, if he is, I do apologize.
We have such.
But it is my opinion that you didn't do much in that first movie. I'm going to tell it like it is, Aaron. He didn't do much. That'd be like Freddy just walking around talking, not doing much, and having some minions claw people in their dreams or something. I mean, or like Jason not doing anything but walking in the woods. You know, I mean, come on, do something, Pinhead. Even Leprechaun did something in his movie.
Okay. All right. What's your next movie news, man?
Oh, okay. Matt Gruber. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Matt Gruber or MacGruber?
It's MacGruber. It's MacGruber. It's like MacGyver. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a spoof. Anyway, his TV series may film this fall if, the virus goes away.
Well,
just goes away.
Well, fortunately, I guess he can, since Last Man on Earth didn't have a proper send-off. So I guess he can have another show. Which I like Last Man on Earth, even though he wasn't literally the last man on Earth.
False advertisement, huh?
Well, it's also a play on words. Like, I wouldn't do this with you unless if you was the last man on Earth.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But and just so it was a fun show. But nevertheless, MacGruber, I didn't really care for the movie, so I really wouldn't watch it. Yeah, I didn't really care for the movie. I thought the movie was it had funny stuff, but it just I'm not a big Will Arnett guy. Other than what I just mentioned, Last Man on Earth, I'm not a huge Will Arnett guy. I'm sorry, Willie. I'm sorry, Will Arnett. I apologize to your minions and legions of fans, but I'm not.
I would say he has millions. I'd say he has thousands.
He might. I don't know how many.
He might have millions.
I mean, there might be a lot of Arnettites out there.
I'm not an Arnettite, as you put it, weirdly, but I do like MacGruber. Even though I was told I probably would hate it, but I love that movie. I mean, when Chris Jericho and all those guys get blown up in the beginning, I think Jericho got blown up in the beginning.
I think I forgot all about that.
I know Big Show. Was it Big Show? Was it Great Khali?
Was Booker T in it? I feel like
I'm not.
There's a bunch of wrestlers. I know Great Khali
was in it. A bunch were, and they got blown up to pieces in like the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it was the whole gag is that he had like a group of bad BA mercenaries, out there, kind of like A-Team, and they all die immediately.
So I was shocked when that happened because I was hoping Lex Jericho would be in the movie a little bit more, but
Well, at least we have Jericho and Jane Silent Bob reboot, so there you go.
The Le Champion.
But he plays a Klansman in that movie, man. A Klansman.
Yeah, why not? It's Chris Jericho. The second coming. Chris Jericho.
Moving on, Brandon.
That was 2008. But we can't move on because I haven't told what I thought. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for this. I'm so excited for MacGruber. I'm so excited.
I'm
so excited. Can't hide it. All right. Next one. Okay.
I don't know how I feel about today.
I feel great.
Oh, boy.
You just got to go with it, Aaron.
I'm going with it.
I mean, you tell me you've been looking forward to this all week.
It was until now. No, it's fine. Go ahead. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, Nick Offerman is open to joining the MCU if Taika Waititi, is that his last name?
Taika Waititi.
Mr. Waititi.
No. This man has won. This man has won the Academy Award. Get his name right. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi.
Mr. Titty, I got it. I got it. Okay. The director of Thor Ragnarok. I got it. What did he win the Academy Award for?
Jojo Rabbit. He won for Jojo Rabbit. He directed. He directed Jojo Rabbit. I think it won best adaptation.
Parasite won.
Parasite won for the best picture.
What did he win?
I think he won for best adapted film or something. Maybe he won something.
That feels like a false award. Adapted film
is adapted from a short story or a novel.
Well, anyway, Nick Offerman, you know who that is, right? No. Ron Swanson.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, he doesn't know his name. He doesn't know his name.
I'm seeing what it won. You messing me up. There's a Rabbit award.
Well.
Academy.
Aaron's having an orgasm over there.
This is for children, man.
Is it though?
All right, he won best adapted screenplay. Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit. Waititi.
Man, I'm gonna have to learn that.
You got to. He did Thor Ragnarok. He was in Thor Ragnarok as the one little rock creature guy. He was like,
that was great. He was great in that role.
He also did what we do in the shadows as his thing. Taika Waititi is all over the place, and the guy Taika Waititi.
TD. Like I'm going back to grade school learning. I don't know. I don't want to say he's the wrong, I don't. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Nick Offerman being open to joining the MCU if he's involved in the movie?
I'll be open only if he joins as Ron Swanson.
Oh, no, Aaron. Aaron, no, you can't do that. You can't
That'd be hilarious.
Him.
That'd be hilarious.
You can't typecast.
It'd be hilarious if Ron Swanson is a superhero. Come on. He'll literally.
Ron Swanson is a superhero.
And he will literally do nothing. He would just be like, "Hey, Ron, you can save this person from falling off a building." I know I can, but I won't. Thank you.
Good girl.
Bye.
Always go back to good girl. Well, I'm hoping he does join. I mean, I haven't seen anything this guy's done but Parks and Rec, but he was my favorite part of that movie, show, I should say. As you know, one of my favorite characters of all time. He's number two. Couldn't beat out Dawson Leary, but he is number 2. And Aaron's like, what have I gotten myself into today? I don't know, Aaron. I look forward to it if he does join as whoever. I mean, it's freaking Ron Swanson. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to see.
I'm sure he'd be a comical character. I mean,
I don't know, like in Dev or whatever, he plays a more serious role, seems like. But I've only watched a little bit of the first episode. It just wasn't something that interested me. Like, say, Ozark, which is I'm on season 3 right now.
I know, you think they're stupid people.
Oh, man, they make
Is that the Jason Bateman show?
Yeah, he directs it, too.
He's got 2 shows.
He directs it.
I know he's got 2 shows. He's doing that Stephen King show as well, The Outsider.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's on HBO, I think.
I don't have that.
I thought you had it.
No.
Ah,
I'm poor, Brandon.
poor. Okay.
Unemployment.
All right. I know we're all unemployed. I mean, for the most part. I mean, I've been unemployed for 5 years. I mean, it is what it is. No, let's not get into that. That's serious stuff. Let's get into this.
Oh.
All right. Ronda Rousey done with WWE after fake fight comment. Your thoughts? Is she done? Is it a work? Is it a shoot?
I don't care about Ronda Rousey.
Do you just want to slap her? I mean, I just want to slap her and go to the hospital later. But
I don't want to slap Ronda Rousey. I'm going to go on record right now to say that men should not slap women, especially Ronda Rousey, because she would probably break a limb of yours.
Well,
but
she wouldn't have to break too much out of me because my back's already pretty much broken. So there you go. Then I have to say, why am I slapping Ronda Rousey? I'll go on the record and say I will never slap Ronda Rousey.
You seen when the
or
guy?
Any woman.
You seen when the guy? Listen, you seen when the guy got into the ring and tried to come out there and drop kick Bret Hart for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
And then Ronda's husband got in there and tackled dude to the ground real quick. Yeah. Don't slap Ronda Rousey because that would be you. Tackle to the ground. I
can't run, so it'd be very stupid.
It'd be easier. It'd be easier for him to scoop you up and put you on the ground and really break your back.
Oh, it wouldn't take much. I'm telling you. Ooh.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
as far as Ronda Rousey is concerned, I did like her small time in WWE. I thought that she wasn't used right, and I think that she wasn't marketed right. WWE is terrible with that. If you want to hear more about what I think WWE says, please go to our Anchor FM website channel there and listen to my rant on Vince McMahon firing a lot of talent this past week.
Tommy Dreamer agrees with that, by the way. Him firing all those people.
Did Tommy keep his job, I guess?
No, Tommy's not there. He has his own little independent wrestling company.
Yeah.
So he's okay with it because he's going to grab a couple.
I understand. But listen, Tommy Dreamer was never my favorite in ECW.
Uh-oh. I did something. Uh-oh. Oh,
Taz has always been my favorite in ECW.
Okay.
And Sabu. No. I don't know what you did, Brandon.
I don't know what I did either.
I'm still recording. This is all going to be on the episode.
Yeah, I know. I just... Okay. I mean, you go ahead.
I don't have movie news. How am I going to go ahead? What did you do, Brandon?
I just can't see myself.
I see you. Because you gotta click the little you gotta click the what's the name, the stop or start video. Right on the left hand side at the bottom you'll see something that says stop video or start video. It probably has a next video. It
says hide video.
Well, don't hide video.
Yeah, I just hit it.
I see you. But anyway.
All right, I'm good. I'm back.
Brandon, I think it's time to move on from movie news.
We got one more. Of course, you're going to get upset if I pronounce his name wrong. I'm just going to say War Machine from the MCU may be done as his contract expired after Endgame. Your thoughts?
Don Cheadle?
Yeah, Mr. Don.
How could you mispronounce Cheadle?
Cheadle.
That's fine. Don Cheadle needs to move on. I'm honestly wanting to see where they go forward, and I'm not really interested in revisiting any of the older characters. Now, Thor, I like to do dynamic with Thor and then Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm glad to see them and revisit them. But Don Cheadle, a.k.a. War Machine, was such a minor character to me that I really can care less if he's done with it. I thank him for his time and his service, but honestly, just not that deep for me. For he is, I don't know. I like Anthony Mackie a little bit better with Falcon. I thought he was cool. Of course, I like. I'm trying to think of who else. Who's the new Captain America? Is it Anthony Mackie?
Yeah, that's him. Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked him. And of course, just more people. Bucky. I like a more. I never really was big. I loved his dynamic with Tony, but with Tony not there, there's no use for him.
No use for War Machine?
No use for War Machine.
Shocking, Aaron. Shocking.
I'm a shocking individual.
Yes, you are. Indeed.
All right. Your thoughts?
I could care less, really. I never really cared for War Machine in the movies. I had a friend that absolutely loves the character, but me personally, he didn't do nothing for me. I wasn't there for War Machine, sadly. Now, here's the thing. The actor that played him in the first movie, first Iron Man.
His name is, I'm going to help you out here.
Yeah, I don't.
That was, I'm trying to think. I see his face. I'm trying to think of his name. He's on Empire. He's on Wayward Falls. Or Wayward Pines. Wayward Pines. He says Maine a lot. Come on, Maine. Oh, man. Oh, why am I drawing a blank on this guy? Terrence Howard III.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't have to look him up. I just had to look through my mind.
I like him better, even though he never got to put on the suit.
Yeah,
he was promised, but never got to put on the suit.
No, he didn't. He screw it up himself. He screwed that up. So.
Depends who you believe. They have two different stories of what happened. So, I don't know.
I'm hearing voices. Right? I'm hearing voices.
And it's officially went crazy.
I'm hearing talking, but I'm not seeing where the talking's coming from.
What are they saying, sir?
I don't hear them. I don't hear exactly. It's like garbled and jarbled. But anyway,
you just said he heard them.
Let's move on to movie news because we're gonna try to keep this episode under an hour, guys. Yes. All right. Yay. So, we are reviewing today. For those that's wondering what we're reviewing, it is a little known movie called Assault on Precinct 13. Let me go ahead and pull up I got my tablet right here. All right, so I'm going to read the synopsis from IMDb. An unlikely partnership between a highway patrol officer, two criminals, and a station secretary is formed to defend a defunct Los Angeles precinct office against a siege by a bloodthirsty street gang. This came out in 1976. It's rated R, and it's an hour and 31 minutes. This is considered an action, crime, and thriller. And it is directed by John Carpenter, written by John Carpenter, and stars Austin Stoker, Darwin Jostin, Laurie Zimmer, and many more, which I'll get to that in a minute. But Brandon's first going to hit us up with a little bit of the numbers.
Numbers. All right. It has a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Metacritic gives it an 89%, 90% like this on Google. Now we go to Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 98% on the tomato meter and an 80% audience score. So, there we go. There's the numbers.
Yay.
I couldn't get box office numbers because apparently it didn't go to theaters. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't have it. It had a remake, but not the original.
I imagine it might have something to do with, I don't know, a little ice cream truck scene, perhaps. Maybe that's what legend has it that John Carpenter had the scene in, showed it to the MPAA, and the MPAA advised him he needs to cut it. So he cut it out the movie, spliced it back in, spliced it out, sent them that. They gave him the rated R approval, and then once he got the film back. He spliced it back into the film and put it in theaters with that scene in it because
you know what? It sounds like John. That is John Carpenter. Screw you, people. I'm making my own movie.
Yeah.
How I see fit. Yeah, it sounds like him. He's anti-authority.
Yeah, he really is. That's why I love him. But yeah, so this movie, you said it a few times, Brandon. If it does feel almost like Night of the Living Dead in the sense of like a plague or a siege. The siege felt more like zombies almost, more than like a street gang. Like the gang didn't really speak. They were all kind of silent.
They were,
and they just pop up and then they shoot them like shooting targets. It was one of the loudest movies. It just had a lot of glass breaking and gunshots and stuff like that. It was like literally the soundtrack. I had a guest over at that point. My wife was having a guest to help her out doing something, and I just kept apologizing. I was like, "I'm sorry for all this violence on the screen," you know. But she did miss the ice cream truck scene, which I will get to that in a minute. Brandon, what did you think about the main actor, Austin Stoker, aka Ethan Bishop? He was the guy.
Bishop was more memorable for me. I mean, you're gonna hate me, Aaron. You're gonna hate me. I hate myself for feeling this way. I just felt all these characters were underdeveloped. I hate it. I hate myself for feeling it. I love John Carpenter. He's number 2 for me, only behind Spielberg. I hate feeling this way. I wanna. Aaron's gonna tear up. But no, I just felt that it was underdeveloped. And while we were watching the movie, Beth was doing trivia because that's what she does. And I just lost the screen. But anyway, he said he was inspired by Night of the Living Dead for this movie. But instead of zombies, he wanted it to be a street gang. I'm cool with that. But I just felt like the cops were underdeveloped, the inmates, except for Bishop. I like but Apollo Creed's trainer was in the movie.
Well, you meant Napoleon Wilson was the other inmate.
Yeah. I liked him, but he knew he was going to die. He went out, and he went out anyway. Just
yeah, you're right. Wells is Tony Burton, who plays Apollo Creed's trainer in Rocky.
So it was good to see him. It really was good to see him.
It was good for me to see Nancy Keys, a.k.a. Nancy Loomis.
Yeah.
She must have changed her name after Halloween because she's like, you know what? I don't want to be associated with the Loomis name, because she now goes by Keys. Maybe she got married and changed her name. I'm not sure. But I think at the time that they made this, she might have been dating Kurt Russell, because I think at the time that she was in a relationship, I believe, with Kurt Russell. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was during this film or during Halloween, but around that time frame, she dated Kurt. And it makes sense because Kurt was like in one of John Carpenter's earlier films. The Elvis movie. He played Elvis.
Yeah, he did.
So, but yeah, it was good for me to see her. It's also good for me to see Charles Cyphers Starker, who was you might know him from Halloween as Sheriff Brackett, right?
Yeah.
Don't let me get that wrong. Cause I'm a fan.
Brackett.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. I didn't want to get that wrong, man. Ooh, I can't wait to see him in Halloween Kills. But anyway, it just was good to see these people. What you corrected me, and I'm glad you did, because they aren't Halloween alum. They are now Halloween alum, but at this point they've been Assault alum that was returning to do Halloween. John is like many other directors that like to use the same talent in a little bit of everything. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, in which like Dick Miller and Joe Dante. Joe Dante loves using God rest his soul, but enjoyed using Dick Miller. And like I think he's in almost every single one of his little movies. Um, but yeah, uh, it felt really good and familiar to see these people. But yes, I agree. I think the street gangs in themselves was very underdeveloped. Like,
Oh yeah.
and their motivation. I don't remember this at the beginning of seeing this back when I seen it like years ago. The whole shootout at the very beginning, I didn't realize that happened. Maybe I totally glossed over that, and I thought maybe that they were just attacking it for no reason. But I guess that's why they're attacking it, because the police shot up their gang members. I don't know. You?
I don't know. I think the reason they attacked the police precinct was because of the father of the girl, which we haven't got to yet. Shot what I presumed was the leader of that gang, and they just followed him into the precinct and shot it up. And he had nothing to do for the rest of the movie. He was like in shock after that, and I don't know. I just felt a lot of the characters were underdeveloped. But then you have to think of when it was made, 1976, I believe. Low budget, he didn't have a lot to work with. So I have to think about that too. So I don't know. I felt I was watching Night of the Living Dead, but without zombies.
I agree. Now I believe the little girl, I think her name was, I want to say her name was Kim Richards. The real lady that played her. The one I know that Carpenter mentioned, is Kim Richards. So she was a Disney star. She's a Disney actress at the time that she got this role. She was in Escape to Witch Mountain in 1975. I think that she was on Return. She might have even been in Return of Witch Mountain with The Rock. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never seen that movie, so I wouldn't know. I thought they mentioned it. I was looking to see if it's Return to Witch Mountain. She's in there.
I've seen it.
So she was, but she was a Disney actress, as a kid, and so that was one of the most controversial things. Is they used to say that Carpenter killed Disney, and let's go ahead and get to this. The scene that changed the action over. Now, first, before leading to that scene, when the gang members are going around town scoping out victims, I hated that feeling. I hated when they had the sights set on, like the hobo man, the wino, or the old woman carrying groceries and stuff like that. It's a scary thing, because that thing really does happen. Especially, I remember several years ago, there's a guy that was on Facebook Live talking about he was just going to kill the next person he sees, and he ended up killing the older black guy that was just walking around his neighborhood waiting for food to get ready for Easter, and he shoots him and kills him live on Facebook Live, which is terrible. So watching that scene, it really was shocking for me. Not so much shocking, but just I felt like that was it was very uncomfortable is what I meant.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I guess my problem with this movie is it feels like Halloween as well. With the getting a phone call.
All right, you got to answer your phone call. We're going to take a quick break.
Hello.
All right, Brandon had to take a quick intermission. He had to take a call. Now he's back. Brandon, what were we saying?
We were getting to the little girl. We were getting to that. I said it kind of felt like Halloween for me.
Yeah, and I wanted some explanation to that. So yeah.
Okay. just with the gang, how they randomly attack people. Like it just felt like Michael to me, how he randomly attacked people. And then when I can't remember. I want to say it was Nancy Loomis. Speed kills. They did that little thing there. Then he was boom, and he zoned on them. They became targets, and it's kind of like with the gang when the little girl shows up. They kill her. The father kills the main guy. They target him, and he goes into Precinct. So it just, I don't know. There's little things I saw, random acts that reminded me of Halloween.
I didn't get a Halloween vibe from it at all. I got more of a Western feel to it. It felt like a shoot 'em up, shootout type of Western, OK Corral type of thing. I felt that it was I did get the zombie influences with the Night of the Living Dead. I got a lot of that, but I didn't get the Halloween vibe on it. Which Halloween is just my most iconic film of all time that I really love. But I would say that with this one that he I don't know. So this it was pretty much it was not as exciting. The first 15, 20 minutes, man, is actually pretty dull in my opinion. Like you had the shootout at the beginning with the cops and the gangs, where they were like shot like fish in a barrel, essentially. And then you have the blood right passage thing with the gang leaders, where I guess they all come together and form a super gang to take on to bring havoc. And so then the gang leader. I love the scene with the ice cream truck. With the guy in the ice cream truck, that he's kind of watching his rearview mirror and watching the car and stuff like that. I thought that was really very. It had some very nice. What's the term I'm looking for? Like it calls you angst. You know what I'm saying? I thought he had
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure it wasn't mine.
Yeah, I think it had very nice angst or created suspense is what I was thinking. So it had a great suspense. But that scene, so the little girl goes to the ice cream truck and gets her ice cream, and the ice cream truck guy, instead of giving her the twist that she wanted, it gave her just simple plain old vanilla.
Yeah.
I guess the twist would have been chocolate and vanilla, I assume. I don't know.
But she didn't notice it until further down. She licked it, if I'm not mistaken. It's it's not the twist. I don't know what the twist would have been.
I don't know what the twist is either.
But I got a question for you about this scene. Did you think the ice cream man was an undercover cop?
No.
I felt he was an undercover cop. I don't know. I just felt that way.
I mean, in a different world, he could have been, but I think that he was just an ice cream truck driver in L.A. that packed a gun because I don't know why he packed a gun. I don't know. It seemed like a weird ice cream truck guy I wouldn't go to. I wouldn't have my children go to, like one of those creeper truck drivers. But I don't know about a cop though.
Well, it's just the way when he said he was closed. Maybe he was just scared of the. Maybe he was just scared though. I mean, because he saw the car patrolling back and down the street. I don't know. It just felt like when I saw the gun, it's like I think he's an undercover cop patrolling these people.
I felt like
I could be off, but I just felt that way.
I felt that he was just probably trying to protect the child to have her get away because he felt like something bad was going to happen.
Yeah, that could be it too. I mean,
but poor child. So she walks back at this point, she walks away, and as he's sitting there, the gang members pop up and I don't know if they stab him or shoot him.
Shoot him.
They shoot him, and then like at this time they have a silencer on the gun, and the little girl pops up and says, "I asked for a twist. This is regular vanilla." And the gang member didn't even look at her, just pointed the gun and shot her.
Yeah.
And she falls backwards, and then like they leave, and the father sees her down on the ground, and them speed off, and the ice cream truck guy was like, "Hey, there's a gun." His dying words, "Grab my gun," or whatever. So he gets the gun, and I didn't see this scene where he killed the gang leader.
Yeah.
I guess I missed it.
Yeah, he followed them at night. Caught up with them at night anyway in a deserted area and shot the main one. Then ran off and they followed him. Then it was like 30 gang members. It just exploded and just like Night of the Living Dead. They all came.
Yeah, and in this, so in another correlation between this and Night of the Living Dead is the lead actors in the film, in both films, was African American men, and I kind of got that feel from Night of the Living Dead because of this. Like the main dude, Bishop, is like an African American guy, and in Night of the Living Dead, the main guy from Night of the Living Dead is an African American guy, and that was controversial then because it was like one of the first times a lead in a movie, in a horror movie, was a black guy that like that, and
Yeah.
You looking it up?
I think you're wrong about something, but I'm just making sure.
You're checking Heat of the Night, aren't you?
No, I'm not checking In Heat of the Night. I know about that. No, I guess you're right.
What were you checking? I'm curious now.
They switched it up in the remake. Okay, that's weird. The Bishop character, I thought he was the white guy, the inmate, because
no,
I'm pretty sure Lawrence Fishburne's Bishop in the remake, but I could be wrong about that too.
Yeah,
I thought Bishop was the black guy in the remake.
Oh yeah, no, they switched it up because they can't be just like the same. But anyway, I just like that. And then like so when the gangs fall onto the precinct, and it just happened to be a precinct that is closing down anyway and relocating to another precinct, and so it doesn't have a lot of resources and things like that. And so
who's being punished? Do you think he's being punished?
Maybe. I feel like there's somebody up front here. I'm going to pause this and we'll come right back.
All right.
Welcome back. I'm back. You're back. We're all back. Help me. Anyway, so.
What was that?
Oh, I don't know. Nervous energy.
Why are you nervous?
Everything makes me nervous.
Oh my God.
As my granddaughter would say. But
I was the nervous one. Doing this thing on video made me nervous.
Well, I'm glad that you have calmed down, but
I lost it again. Oh my God.
This is going to be the most of our podcast is Brandon losing the feed and coming back to it. But you're back now, Brandon?
I am. All
right. Jeez, Brandon.
I'm not touching the laptop anymore. Because every time I touch it, something goes wrong.
So anyway.
Yes, sir.
The idea of the gangs, the inmates helping out the cops was, I don't know, I thought it was cool for the time being, but obviously you wonder as a cop, can I really trust this inmate? And then as an inmate, can I really trust this cop? Who's to say that this cop,
Yeah, I think they did that better in the remake.
Yeah, I had to
of Lawrence Fishburne, Ethan Hawke, because they didn't trust one another at all throughout that movie. But I guess the reason, and I hate saying this, because I love Carpenter, the reason I enjoy the remake better is because I felt, the dirty cops had a purpose in the movie. where I didn't really feel the gang.
There's Dirty Cops. See, I don't even remember that in the remake.
Yeah, it was Dirty Cops. The late Ron Dennehy was part of it. Oh man, he was good in that movie, but he was a dirty cop as well. But
he's always dirty something, except for in Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Most parts he always played was like underhanded. He's really good at playing the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I don't really look at him as a bad guy in First Blood, though. I think he looked at John Rambo, and I hate to get off topic, but he looked at him as a director, like a guy that was going to cause problems. You know, and he took it too far. He ultimately should have died, but he didn't because of the colonel. But anyway, back to this. I just felt these gang members didn't, really have a goal, a purpose. It's where it really lost me. They acted out of random, and I don't know. James Wan in the Death Sentence did it better, I guess, in that aspect. He made a similar movie to Assault on Precinct 13 with that movie.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's good. A lot of people compare it to Death Wish, but I actually, now watching this, compare it to Assault on Precinct 13 because the father witnesses his child get killed by this
I've never
gang.
seen it. Should I see this? Is it on somewhere?
Oh yeah, you should definitely see it.
Don't spoil it then.
Kevin Bacon's in it.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm a bacon guy. So yeah.
I think James Wan saw that particular scene and created a movie out of it, and it was Death Sentence. So yeah, now I like when they kill the little girl. I was like, and the father sees it. I like that aspect that he's wanting revenge on them, and he gets it to a degree. Then he runs off to the police station, and then like 30 gang members show up, like zombies. They don't talk. They just show up.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part to me.
It lost me in that moment. It's like, okay, this has turned into Night of the Living Dead, except they're not zombies. So I don't know. I didn't hate the movie. I just was disappointed in the movie.
Well, it's probably not one of Carpenter's best work. As far as like, it's not one of my favorites of John's.
Yeah.
That would be obviously just top 5: Halloween, The Thing, They Live, Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm trying to think of maybe Christine. I don't know, because I also like the original Fog. So, but he had so many movies. It's not even really. It's like he had so many movies like that he's done. I even like Memoirs of the Invisible Man. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I actually dug it. But
I like his last movie he did, the Award.
I say I hadn't seen that. A lot of people
don't like it, but I enjoyed it. I think I love the score in this movie, though. I think that's the best part of the movie is the score. It's John Carpenter. Of course, the score is going to be good. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. So, I hate it. Like, I like Ghost of Mars. I saw a little bit of Ghost of Mars in this, even though this would have inspired Ghost of Mars.
Yeah.
If they were in a gang, I don't know what they were in Mars.
I don't know what they were.
They reminded me of the gang in Assault on Precinct 13.
Ghost of Mars, just refresh my memory. I know Ice Cube's in it, and
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue.
Natasha Henstridge. I don't know why I said Elizabeth Shue.
And then
Pam Greer's also in it.
But
Jason Statham.
I remember them on a train, right? Is it a train or something?
Yeah.
Are they trying to make it through this territory? Like he has movies that's kind of a similar theme of trying to make it from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And get through this conflict. So like it's like Escape from New York or Escape from LA. It's like start you here, you gotta go through all this to get over to this point. Big Trouble in Little China felt like, so he has the same recurring themes in a lot of his, or motifs, I guess, in a lot of his films.
Yeah.
But someone online was talking about Assault on Precinct 13 and says that they felt that Dredd was very much inspired by Assault on Precinct 13 because of the whole aspect of
I can see that.
Being stuck in a place and you got to survive to make your way. But in this case, it's being stuck on the inside of a housing complex, and you're trying to survive to get through it without, which I actually dug Dredd. I know you didn't so much, but I liked it. I thought it was a really great movie.
I think it's the I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the world, the character. I don't know. I tried to read the comic books too. I couldn't get into them. So I think it's just everything about it. I don't connect.
But did you connect with Sly's Dredd at all, or?
I connected with him. I mean, it's Sly. Anything Stallone does, I'll connect with because it's him. I like him. I have a connection with Stallone. I mean, I even connected with Oscar. Come on, Oscar.
You connected with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
I did connect with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Oh, man, yeah. You know, looking back at that movie, I mean, that movie's not good. It's not. But it is a guilty pleasure. I enjoy watching it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, it's bad, but you can't help but like it. I mean,
I feel you. But, yeah, so pretty much in a nutshell, this film, the gangs keep, and that's pretty much what my biggest dislike about this film is. That's all it really is them stuck in the police station. First they see the one cop go outside, he gets shot, and then she's like, oh, such and such fell down, and he didn't get up, and then the cop goes out there to check on him, make sure he's all right, and then he gets shot at, and then he's like, he lets her know, hey, they're shooting at they're shooting, and people are stuck in this police station getting shot at and stuff like that. The whole movie, essentially, rest of the movie is that. And then man, I'm trying to get his name, the dude from Rocky. Give me your
Which
name.
dude?
The one guy in this movie that is in Rocky.
Who did he play in Rocky? I can probably tell you.
Who else is in this movie, Brandon, that was in Rocky? Brandon.
Oh, Apollo Creed's trainer, yeah.
Brandon.
I'm sorry. I can't explain. There's no excuse. I should have. Yeah.
Wells is his name in this movie. So he essentially goes through the sewer, I guess, like Ninja Turtle style, and comes out and makes it to a car and thinks he's making it to freedom. And the gang member is waiting in the back of the car, which is so dumb. It's so dumb because anybody would know that, for two reasons. One,
it's an urban legend, though.
I understand.
Always check the back seat of your car.
It is true. We learned that in the movie Urban Legend. But also, it was his job that the new lieutenant of the gangs was like, hey, Sanchez, you wait in the back of the car just in case someone comes and gets in the car. So throughout the whole shooting gets seen, and people shooting and fighting and bullets flying and blood and guts and pee and puke, all that stuff happening, this guy's in the back of the car like this, waiting.
That was his job.
It was his job. And then he's like, oh, somebody's getting in now. Great. Now it's my time to shine. And the dude celebrates, yes, I made it. And then they're like, he made it. I'm like, no, he didn't. And all of a sudden, pow, and he gets killed. And then who shot? I missed this. Who shoots the utility guy on the pole? What? Because the cops it's raining and there's blood drops. Who kills him? The gang or what?
I think the gang did. I'm not remembering it exactly. I checked out a little bit after Apollo Creed's trainer died. Because he was the character I actually liked. Because I don't know. I just didn't feel the other character brought life. That's
You
just
liked
me.
him more. You liked him
yeah.
more than the other inmate guy, right?
Yeah. I felt he was trying too hard. I don't know.
Yeah, I hated the fact that they killed him too. You know, I just hated the fact that they killed him. To me, the movie ends on such a just like it's not a sour note. Like they survive because other cops show up and then like clear out the gang members and all that stuff. And then like the lady, they said, "We have a stretcher for you, ma'am," and she's like, no, and she just walks out. And then like they don't cuff the guy and allows him to walk out. It just, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still in prison. He's still in jail.
Yeah, I mean, that one scene when they called the cops were coming, but everything was clear. The gangs disappeared like in thin air, and they couldn't find it. It's like, where's everybody at? They called us in, and there's nobody on the streets or anything. It's like, this place looks fine. I was like, no, it's not plausible. I mean, so many gang members that showed up there. It's just not. I mean, but I don't know. It's just, I felt he wanted to make a Night of the Living Dead movie without zombies. That was my final thoughts on it. And John's capable of more than that.
All right. Well,
it just hurt me.
Yeah, I'm saying. Well, we're gonna go ahead because there's not much more to talk about the film, honestly. We're gonna go ahead and give our markouts on the markout meter. For those that are just now seeing this and catching our show, this is our 73rd episode, right?
72nd.
72nd. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't seen or heard any of our previous stuff, check us out on anchor.fm. Also, we're on Spotify and other little platforms as well. Just Google Markout Movie Podcast and you'll find us. But we have a markout meter where we rate stuff from 1 star to 5 stars to see whether or not we like the films. And so for this movie, I'm going to give it 3 stars, which is a fresh score. I give it 3, and I'll give it no more because this doesn't hold up. We didn't even really do that, but it doesn't hold up. And I'm looking at my son, man. It's just crazy that's happening around me. But
just the expressions you got on you, man. It's something. It's something.
It's something, all right. But it doesn't hold up. It just is a lot of stuff wouldn't fly today. And John is one of my favorite directors, and the score is great. And some of the action sequences was good, but after a bit, it just was always the same thing, like just the same type of things happening. It's just shoot at people getting shot at. It was a constant thing, and for that, I can't give it 4 or 5. So, but I would give it 3 stars.
This hurt Aaron. I believe it hurt Aaron to give it just 3, because John is your favorite, all-time favorite. I've heard you say it many times.
It is.
So for me, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I was disappointed. It hurt. It just hurt. Because I know and he proved he was capable of more. I think the story is what hurts for me. Now he's proved he's capable of more. He proved that with Halloween. He proved it with the Elvis TV movie. He could do more. He could tell a better story than this.
The eyes of Laura Mars. I mean, he's done plenty of things. He's actually did. I think it's called Strings of Our Hearts. I believe. What's the movie with want to say, is it Meryl Streep or somebody? It's like, and it's not a horror movie. It was like more of a drama film. So Carpenter.
Yeah.
Carpenter is bigger than people. He's not just Halloween. For people to think, oh, he's just Halloween. The guy's not just Halloween, but he has an eye for horror. But
He does.
I think his action films don't always add up to, like, say, his horror films. I feel like for Ghost of Mars, I would consider vampires more action than horror. Um,
I guess you're right.
Big Trouble in Little China isn't so much action to me as Big Trouble in Little China is, to me, more dark comedy. But his action stuff, Ghost of Mars, Saw the Precinct 13, Escape from New York, Escape from L.A. Although Escape from New York is probably the best action film he has, in my opinion. Although They Live was really fun. So, but I don't think this is the same caliber of film, is what I'm saying. My point is, like, this and Ghost of Mars, like this type of plot, with those, like you stated before, they're very similar plots. And those are probably the two weakest films in his catalog to me. It's just in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I love Ghost of Mars. I wouldn't say I love it. I think it's a fun movie. That's about all I will say. I just have fun with it.
I liked it more than this. I like Ghost of Mars more than this.
Oh, I did too. But as far as like action films he's done, you mentioned vampires. I'm a big fan of that. I haven't seen Escape from New York. I've seen Escape from L.A. I liked it at the time.
How you gonna see it backwards, man?
I didn't know it was a sequel back then. I hadn't seen a lot of early Kurt Russell films. So I saw Escape from L.A. I bought it on PromStar, actually. I rented it on PromStar. I liked it. I didn't know it was a franchise or anything. I like this snake guy. He's cool.
Snake Plissken.
Yeah. So I learned later, like a year or two later, it was a sequel to New York. I've never seen it. I have it. Never seen it.
And it's on Shudder right now.
It is, but I have it on Blu-ray.
I don't have it on Blu-ray. I did have it on VHS, but I didn't. Not all, and I said this before. Not all of my Carpenter films went to DVD for me. Some of them stayed on Blu-ray, VHS. Not everything transferred to DVD, and even less of them transferred to Blu-ray. Like, I have Halloween on Blu-ray. I'm trying to think of my Carpenter stuff. That's all I have is the Halloween stuff. Not on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD still. It's a signed copy, but I don't have it on Blu-ray. It just not every like at that point in Blu-rays, I was mainly trying to get stuff I don't have yet. But then there's always an exception for Halloween because that's my favorite one. So I'm always willing to buy another Halloween. I own at this point maybe 5 copies of Halloween, just different.
Good Lord.
Just various special features and stuff like that. Just it is what it is, man.
It is. It is what it is, and it is.
And it is.
My favorite ones will always be The Thing. I love the monster aspect to it, the paranoia aspect to it. Kurt Russell, Keith David. Man, that movie for me it don't get no better.
Wilford Brimley's in the movie. Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
Also, well, and I will say this. I'm one of the few people that actually liked the prequel to The Thing as well. I thought it, even though I wish that they would have went practical with the effects like Carpenter did, but they went CGI, and it doesn't look as good as it did with the practical stuff. But I love that they did a good job, like stitching 2 movies together to make this one film, and that aspect I really enjoyed. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
And so to this day, I will say that, like, I have no hard feelings for the Thing remake, prequel remake, pre-make. I would say pre-make, but it was fun, man. And that's probably one of the only Carpenter remakes I can think of that I really actually really dig. Although I did at the time enjoy Halloween, Zombies Halloween.
Rob Zombie.
Yeah, no people don't like to talk about his films, but the
I'll
first
talk
Halloween,
about 3 of them.
yeah, I liked Halloween. Well, actually, he has more than that. He has 31.
Yeah.
He has other films, but the one that I like the most, Rob Zombie film that I like is House of a Thousand Corpses. To me, it is the definitive Rob Zombie film.
I think he's a one-trick pony. I think that's the only type of movie he can make. That's good.
Grindhouse type of
yeah.
hillbilly psychopath type of film.
Yeah. Yeah, 31's like that too. I haven't seen The Witch, whatever that. Whatever,
yeah, I haven't
Salem.
seen that.
I haven't seen that. But the ones I have seen, it just he can't. I don't know. His wife is too involved. You know, he puts her in everything and makes her a star, and it just come on, cast some other people. There's other actors out there.
I feel the same way about Tim Burton and what's her name? Michelle Bonaparte or whatever. What's her name? She's in literally every Tim Burton movie.
There's Selena something. I mean, I'm not familiar with the people I know Johnny Depp's one, but
the one that's him too. But it's his girlfriend. I forget her name.
Okay.
But she's in literally like everything. She's in like.
Maybe she can't get work outside of working with him.
But honestly, in film, she was really good. Like in Lady Jane, she was a young actress at the time when she played in it. She was really good in that film, and she's been good in other stuff. But I think now that she just relies on Tim Burton for roles, and just like Depp does, and just like other people that just like everybody that hangs out with Adam Sandler, they're like, "Hey, Adam, you making another movie? Put me in it." You know.
And he will, because Adam's cool like that.
I mean, but yeah, but ultimately, does the film hold up? Is the question that we asked, and I would say that it doesn't. I don't think that it holds up today. To like you can't shoot kids in films like that. Oh well, actually, in Halloween, obviously there was that scene.
Yeah.
But they took the innocence from the kid because the kid, shoots fake Loomis, and then Michael takes him out. But so I don't think that every aspect of this, like, I don't think that you can release this movie in theaters today and people will watch for an hour or so and be like, man, yeah, I'm glad that I stayed to watch all this. I think that they would get bored fairly quickly. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think most people would get bored with it. They have short attention spans these days, so yeah, I would say most would. I'm gonna go with it doesn't hold up either, but if it was another director, I'd probably give him a pass. It's just that it's Carpenter, and I just expected more, I guess. And maybe it's not fair to say because this was like early in his career.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So maybe it's not fair to say that, but
I mean, I think maybe at this point he was still trying to defend Carpenter. I'd say that he was probably trying to find his footing. He was, because he made I forget the student film they made about space. I forget the name of it. But then he made the Elvis movie, The Eyes of Laura Mars, things like that. But then I would say that this was his first major studio release film.
Yeah, probably was.
And then Halloween was 78, right?
Yeah.
This was 76. So I would say that Halloween was the first one that his first real like him making this movie funded him to be able to do Halloween, I would say.
Yeah, well, he had to get help making Halloween. I can't remember the name of the funder, but I know Halloween.
Mustafa Akkad, you mean?
Maybe it was him. I want to say it was someone else, but I know Halloween funded The Fog and The Thing, and it just made him.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that's why we all credited Halloween as, even though it's not technically his first film, that's why we credit that as his most defining film that kind of launched him to being Carpenter, and now everybody emulates Carpenter's stuff in some regards. To not everybody, but I'm saying like Mike Flanagan and people like that kind of mimic him in some regards, But I think that just like George Romero, now I don't know if he made movies before Night of the Living Dead, but I know Night of the Living Dead is his most defining film, and that's what's bad for him is people started with that and like, oh man, what are you gonna do? But then to me, Dawn of the Dead surpassed Night, and then it was for me downhill from there. I'm not I have Day of the Dead, but I'm not a huge Day of the Dead fan at all. Like I've never really been able to get into it, but I did like Land of the Dead. But he has more stuff. He had Monkey Shine. He has the crazies. He had more stuff other than those movies. But just like Carpenter,
Creepshow too, right?
Yeah.
Did he do Creepshow?
He did Creepshow, and then Carpenter has more than just Halloween. But I think that Assault on Precinct 13 was just him trying to find his style, maybe to see what he's gonna do. And it was more of an homage to Romero. You could tell that he looks up to Romero because Romero was guerrilla shooting too. He's just, let's shoot it. And Romero would be like, let's shoot everything. Yeah, I get multiple takes of it and then I cut it together. It's just meticulous. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge Carpenter fan. I'm a huge Romero fan. And I'm not going to I will say that it's probably one of his weaker work, but it's only because he was so young in the game of directing at that point. It's just in my opinion.
I understand. So you all right?
Yeah,
Feel good?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Well,
I guess that's the end of it. Do you want to promote next week's episode?
Yeah. Next week would be versus mode. Death Wish, the original one with Charles Bronson versus the Bruce Willis film that is more critically panned, but I dig it. So yeah, we're gonna.
I haven't seen the Bruce Willis version, but you have to remind me where I can watch Death Wish.
Both are on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, in the meantime and in between time, Aaron Whitlow.
Brandon Spivey here.
Yeah, and go ahead. You can close it out.
And we appreciate you marking out with us today. That is Aaron's catchphrase. He always closes it out with that. We appreciate all the viewers, all the listeners on Anchor. Thank you for marking out.
Thank you.